This is definitely going to be another serious video where I'm going to try to be as insightful as I possibly can and try to break everything down for you as simple as I can make it. Hey guys, Taylor here. And this was a topic that I really wanted to talk to you guys about. So my friends, today we're going to talk about a little something called an oversensory meltdown. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. This is just one of those topics that I happen to know well because as an autistic person myself, I tend to have oversensory meltdowns from time to time. And they are fun. They're not fun at all. For those of you who don't understand what an oversensory meltdown is, do not fret because I'm going to explain it to you right now. Okay, so first things first, what's an oversensory meltdown? I'm not a scientist, a PhD, or a doctor, or any type of master's degree, health-related person to even tell you the scientific definition and the precise definition of that. I'm just only a girl with autism. So, here's my definition of it. It is when my brain gets crowded with all these different sensory messages. Because my brain functions differently than your brain, because not only does it pick up the signals I want to pick up, it also picks up the signals I don't want it to pick up. And those type of messages I don't want my brain to pick up are what help trigger me. You know what? I'm trying to explain this as best I can through words, but I'm more of a visual learner, as you guys know. And I feel like the only way I can explain this thing to you is if I show you through visual imagery. So my friends, to give you a visual of what I feel is going on in my head, let's all go ahead and take a field trip to the dry erase board of insight. Okay, I know this doesn't look like a brain right now, but let's just say this is my brain. And in everybody's brains, it seems like there's this thing that helps us stay calm and collected. I'm going to refer to that part of our brain as the control panel. Okay, let's say this is yours. Now, your little control panel in this case would be wired like this. One here, one here, one here, one here. Two going up on the right, two going up on the left. Going across, and then another one connecting right there, and then you're going again down. That might be what your brain control panel is like. Well, for me and other autistic people in this world, that's not how I feel like it's like. Now, I know a lot of health professionals, doctors, PhDs, stuff like that, say that autism is a very complex disability, and I totally agree with that. Because my brain is wired differently than your brain, hence why I call this part the control panel. And mine looks a little something like this. One going down here, one going up here, maybe one up here, one up there, maybe across, and then maybe X marks the spot, and then you maybe like over here, and then go up or maybe down, I don't know, like here, and then voila! And that, my friends, is what I think this control panel part of my brain looks like. Very, very complex. Now, what I have around my picture of my brain are some things that so happen to trigger me. All of these things each play a part to contributing to what will become my meltdown. So let's say this flashing light bulb. I hate flashing lights because they go on and off, on and off, on and off so fast. It just makes me feel very, very uncomfortable and very uneasy. So let's say this message gets sent to my control panel and already sparks are going. It's starting to malfunction. Now let's take this candle flame. I have a big fear of fire. I don't know if I'll be able to function in a room that has an open flame. I honestly don't think that I am able to do that. So let's say there is a flame in the room. That gets sent to this little motherboard of a control panel, and more sparks are going off. Now, these 3 words are what throw me off the most. Change of plans. That just throws me so off. So that gets sent to this control panel. And now they're starting to become more sparks. And then up here, I try to make me going from one place to another really fast. Like, I'll be doing something and I have to do something else, and I'll go back to what I was doing to doing something else, back and forth, back and forth. That kind of throws me off a little bit too. So I put that in there. And there's this steam that starts to rise. Now this is my visual portrayal of a small room being crowded with people. That is something I cannot handle because I like my personal bubble, and I like having room to kind of have my personal bubble. Now this one is one of the really bad ones, is being in a crowded room full of people. That seriously throws me way off because I don't have my space, I don't have my own personal bubble. So this gets up here, and then smoke in this control panel starts to rise. And then the mother of all triggers, loud noise. I cannot handle loud noise. My hearing is extra sensitive, so I hear everything. Now you guys may only be hearing my voice right now, but not only am I hearing my voice, I'm hearing the cars going down the street. I'm hearing the TV going on downstairs. I hear almost everything around me, and it gets me so frustrated sometimes that this is happening. But it's good for hearing tests. But nevertheless, you take all this noise, and then all of a sudden, more smoke starts to come up until at any least expected moment, kablooey. So after the whole kablooey in the control panel part of my brain, it explodes and stops working. I do not know how to control myself, and I don't know how to keep myself calm and collected. I know every single autistic person is different. Not all autistic people are the same. We are all different, and that's okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you guys the stages of a typical meltdown, for me at least. So the first stage, which I call the pre-stage, is when I start feeling like something isn't right. I'm not as calm as I used to be like 2 to 5 minutes ago. I'm feeling super stressed in a short amount of time, and I start wondering, what's going on? I'm not as calm. I'm starting to feel really, really, really stressed. And then after all that, I tense up. Usually when I tense up, I will either do like this, kind of looking off a little bit, like that, or I would have my arms crossed sitting on my lap, or my hands like this, sitting on my lap, or I could just appear like really stiff, like this, with a kind of worried look on my face, or I could just be looking like I am now, talking to you guys, appearing completely normal, acting like everything's alright, and not recognizing what's going on inside of my brain. So that's the pre-stage. This next stage is the meltdown stage. This stage is what happens right before and the actual meltdown. So then after the pre-stage, my heartbeat feels like it's going 100 beats per second. There's this lump in my throat. I'm feeling more stressed. I'm feeling more tense. I come off as angry and frustrated, which is way beyond my control. And once I feel the tears starting to come in, that's when I initially know I'm gonna have a meltdown. If I'm out in public, like at a restaurant or something, there's not really much I can do about it because it just happens right then and there. But if I'm somewhere where I can go in a different room and vent and decompress on my own, then I would excuse myself and go into another room. But you can't stop these meltdowns. Once it happens, it happens. And then a minute or two later, once I feel like I might actually have a meltdown, I let it out, and I let it out good. I completely break down. It doesn't matter where I am, and it doesn't matter who I'm around. When I have a meltdown right then and there. Now, 90% of the time, it's just the usual cry and deep breathing type of oversensory meltdowns. And I usually sit alone and I cry. That's what I do. Now, what I do during a meltdown, again, it's completely different than any other autistic person. For me, I cry. I just cry and somehow that helps. But if the meltdown is a little bit worse, sometimes I'll be like, you know? But if the meltdown is really, really bad, I wail. I cry and I wail if it is actually that bad. Or I actually did this the other day. I pulled back my hair, bent down right here, and I just sit there. And I just cried and let it out until I was able to pick myself back up and calm down. So if you guys still don't understand what it feels like for me to have an oversensory meltdown, I was talking with one of my mom's coworkers and she gave me, I think, the best advice and the best example I can actually give you guys. So let's just say you're in a room like a bathroom or a lounge. And in this bathroom or lounge, there is 50 people all crowded in this small room. Then the fire alarm is blaring and the light is blinking 100 times per minute. And everyone's yelling, everybody's panicking. And you're sitting there, you have to act completely calm while all this commotion is going on. It feels very, very, very overwhelming. Now, after the meltdown is over and after I've completely calmed down, I'm still a little emotionally, you know, because I let it out, I let everything out, and I let everything go. And that sometimes leaves an emotional aftermath on me. Sometimes, but not all the time. But after that, I just carry on with my day, happy and calm. But after all that, I just carry on with my day, happy and calm and collected. Having an oversensory meltdown is not fun at all. But in the end, it pays off because you get to share your experiences with other people to help them understand you. And that's what I love most about having autism. Well guys, that's it for this week's video. If you guys liked it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Also in the comments below, tell me about some methods that calms you down if you get overwhelmed or if you have a mental breakdown. I would love to hear some of your methods, and plus they might also help someone else. We can all help each other. And that's why I love about this. We can all help each other. We can all help each other. And if you guys really liked my video and if you want to see more videos from me, whether it's about autism or just flat out fun, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, bye bye.